I think many of you can relate that the start of university was a shock. The high school life, where everything was nice and organized, teachers were there to hold your hand, is completely gone. All of a sudden you have to keep track of everything all by yourself. As you probably guessed from the title, my salvation was the bullet journal method. Hello there and welcome, my name is Gergő, but feel free to call me G. I will present my experience in 5 parts in this video. First, the motivation behind starting. Second, we will dive into what is bullet journal in detail. Third, I will talk about why I prefer it over other methods. Fourth, you will get a peek into my personal journals over the years. And we will finish off with some common misconceptions around bullet journaling in general. As always, timestamps will be in the description, so feel free to skip around. So everybody probably realized at some point that the "I'll keep in mind" is not a sufficient way of keeping track of university work. So we all need a way to keep track of everything that needs to get done. In order to do this efficiently, we will have to do the following thing. Capture everything as fast as possible, because your brain is for having ideas, not for storing them. You need to be able to organize your to-dos, and you need to be able to plan ahead in either days or weeks in advance. So these are the baseline objective requirements from any system, in my opinion. Of course, there are subjective ones, like do you actually like using it, because you won't use something you won't like and it will just be a struggle in the long run. And for me a big one is flexibility. Will it be able to adapt to any situation that you throw at it? So now you have an idea what I was looking for when I stumbled upon bulletjournal.com. So it's pretty obvious that I started bullet journaling purely for productivity reasons, but as you will see later in the video, it turned out to offer so much more. But what is bullet journal? In the founder's words, bullet journal is an analog system to keep track of the past, organize the present and plan for the future. It uses rapid logging as its language, basically writing everything in bulleted lists. You use different bullets for different things in order to be able to quickly glance and see what's in front of you. The 3 main spaces you will use are the daily log, the monthly log and the future log. As the names suggest, these are to organize the corresponding parts of your life. The future log is for planning the future, say like half a year or a year in advance. The monthly log is, well, planning your month in advance, and your daily log is to capture everything what comes at you during the day. The absolute cornerstone of the bullet journal method is the process of migration. This is where you take a look at your past in order to plan the future. At the end of each day, you look at what you have planned for the day, and out of those what you have accomplished. What you did not accomplish, you migrate, either to your next day's daily log or back to your monthly or future log. At the end of each month, you do the same things, just in a broader scope. Why migration is so important, it's because it forces you to examine what you spend your time and attention on. If you procrastinate on a task, you have to rewrite it at the end of every single day. This may seem like a lot of effort, but that's intentional. This process helps you become more aware of your actions, helps you separate signal from the noise. The bullet journal basically is a mindfulness practice disguised as a productivity system. Now I will talk about why I prefer it over other methods. There are really 3 points to this. First, because it's analog. The good old pen and paper doesn't send you notifications, doesn't bombard you with useless information, doesn't spoon feed you cheap dopamine. I think this point probably is the most important, because I truly believe that our attention is our most important commodity these days. Second, because it's endlessly flexible. I tweak my current setup all the time. I take out some things that I don't use currently, put in some new ones that I will use, and it changes constantly, it evolves with me. At times I need sophisticated tables and trackers, and other times I just need a bare bones daily log, but it's always exactly what I need, not more and not less. Thirdly, It's a lot more than a to-do list. It is an ever-evolving projection of what goes on in my life. This really struck me when I flipped back in my old notebooks on January the 1st this year and saw how much has changed. It really gave me a new appreciation for everything that was currently going on in my life. In this part I will show you my personal journals. I changed notebooks and pens quite a bit, and although my journals continuously evolve, I think I have found my pen of choice for the rest of my life probably. So the pen of choice is the Rotring Tiki Graphic Fineliner series. It's a standard black fineliner, as you can see. I like it very much because since I am left-handed I need an ink that dries really fast. And I also like black ink that is proper black, not grayish. So this is the perfect choice. And even though it's a bit more expensive than the rest on the field, I happily pay the price for it because I use it so much and it's just such joy to use that it's an investment for me. So now onto the notebooks. At first I just picked up a random Rhodia dot pad from the stationery store near the university. I used it for like a week because I realized that bullet journaling is not going anywhere for me and it's staying with me, so I picked up a proper hardcover notebook. As you can see, this was the first page that I bullet journaled in my life. It's the 1st of October 2018 and it's from the Rhodia dot pad. And I keep it in the first journal that I use, which is this one. This was the first proper long-term notebook. It served me well for about 2 months because at the start of 2019 I wanted to get a new one, which I will show in a bit. This was kind of a trial and error kind of journal for me. It served me well, but when I got into the community side of bullet journal with the spreads and the more sophisticated layouts, then I realized that I want a more professional notebook. This is how I got to the green Leuchtturm bullet journal notebook. This is the bullet journal edition, as you can see on the embossing. This was my perfectionist bullet journal phase, as you probably can see with the meticulous layouts and the time blocking and the perfectly organized days. And it's oddly reflecting that time in my life because it was a really perfectionist phase and everything was about being in control, and it really is a wonder how much this can be a reflection of your thoughts and the state of your mind. And last but not least, my current bullet journal. It's actually a gray Leuchtturm notebook, just like the one before, but there was a tiny accident with an acrylic marker and some nail polish remover, and it made its cover really damaged, so I wrapped it in Christmas paper so I can enjoy the Christmas spirit all year. It's almost completely full. I am in the process of getting a new one. As you can see, it's not as organized and not as pretty as the ones before. The relaxed spreads here also represent my values pretty directly, because I value simplicity and joy of use quite a bit over being perfect. Currently I just want this journal to be there for me when I need it and not suck up all my energy with sophisticated spreads and tricky layouts and shiny headers. So these were my current journals, and since it's an ever-evolving journey, the future ones will be most probably quite a bit different. But I think this can give you a glimpse into what it is like to use one and how much one can change over the years, and how flexible they are to serve you well in every scenario in your life. Now I want to address some common misconceptions around starting bullet journaling. The first one everyone encounters is it has to be like this artsy, craftsy, really nice project. Now you had a look into my journals. Do they look artsy, fartsy? Not really, and neither needs yours to look that way. I know it's nice to look at these perfect pieces of art on Instagram, but if you just need something minimal and functional for keeping track of your life, scribble away, my friend. It has to be orderly and neat. I think my journals already debunked this point for me, but it's really not about being nice and organized. I think of my journals as cultivated chaos. As long as I can find everything I want in it and I feel comfortable using it, those are perfectly fine. I think both of those misconceptions stem from the same root, that there is a perfect way or a good way, a proper way to bullet journaling. There is really not. Make it your own, try new stuff, keep what works, discard what doesn't, and just enjoy the journey and use it however you like it. I hope you found this video useful, and I encourage you to take a look at bulletjournal.com. I will link it in the description below to learn more in detail about the system. I think my example shows how big an impact it can have on your life, and I would love all of you to have the same experience firsthand. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.